the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Just practice.
Okay. If all is one substance, as you know, isn't the search for enlightenment just another goal for the imagined person to attain an imagined oneness? Did
Say
you
that
grasp
again.
that? Okay, these are one of those questions I told you about earlier. If all is one substance, then this journey towards enlightenment, isn't it just an imaginary journey from an imaginary person to an imaginary oneness until the ultimate experience happens where you...
Well, it's not an imaginary oneness. You only see it as separate because you believe that you're separate. That's in the imagination. But
I guess the question is, if we already are that, and always have been that, and we're just on this process of discovering the truth of that we are not the me that we believe ourselves to be, and we are the vastness of the infinite universe that we are. Sorry about the words, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. What's the point? If we already are that, why do we have to go through such a process to discover what we have always been?
well, do you know that you're that? Do you realise that you're that?
I don't, to the degree that you, and I'm not asking this question to kind of poke holes in anything.
No.
Look, I've tasted it, but I don't live it totally because I haven't come to that place that you're sitting in, where there's no more me. There's still definitely a me.
There's still a little bit. There's still a little bit. I think as long as you're in the body, there's still a little bit.
Yeah.
There has to be, really.
Okay.
I mean, my main... Oh, maybe I should go.
No, go on. I mean,
my main reason for being here, for still being in this body, is to help other people realise why they're in this body. That's my main motivation. I'm not saying I don't have any personal pleasures left at all or anything like that, but my main motivation for being here is to help others, really.
This is...
I didn't answer your question though, did I?
Well, my question wasn't very direct, I guess. I mean,
It was a bit intellectual.
It was, yeah. And but it was here in front of me, so I had to ask it. So I guess...
I suppose that's why I directed it back at you, because it's more...
Look,
it's better if you ask from your own experience. And I know these questions are...
Yeah. But there is a bit of truth in that question inside me about that. It's kind of like, when we taste the truth of the unity, and we do that in meditation, we get a real sense of the no-me reality. And for that moment, we're free. What is it that pulls us back into the separateness again when we've seen the truth?
Well, it's the ego, the mind, the I. That's what keeps pulling you in to it. And you have to practice pulling yourself out of that, away from it, staying where you are, which is here. And that takes an incredible amount of practice. And I know people say it's effortless, blah, blah, blah. It's effortless once you're here completely. For me now, I can say it's effortless. I don't have to do anything to stay here. There are still thoughts there, but I just don't, it doesn't matter. I don't go with them. But very few thoughts really, compared to how it was before. It's effortless now, but it's not, but it's incredibly intense at the same time. But to get to that stage of effortlessness, you have to make an incredible amount of effort to just stay here rather than keep being pulled out by the mind and the world and distractions.
Yeah. Okay. Many people, this is going in another direction, but we touched on it earlier. We talked about death. You mentioned death.
Mm-hmm.
Many people are curious about life after death. I understand that any answer is speculation, but from your viewpoint, what happens?
Why aren't they more curious about life now than life after death? What are they?
That's a good point.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole thing. People are always interested in something else other than right now.
Right.
And you can only really live if you die to every moment. If, like I was saying,
Yep.
you die to yourself every moment. That's the only way to live. And then you don't give a shit what it's going to be like when you die. You don't care. It's just another unknown. And everything in this state is unknown. You just realise, and maybe that's a better answer to what enlightenment is. It's just the unknown. It's being completely secure in the unknown, in not knowing, realising that you don't know anything. You don't know what's going to happen next. There are things that are probably going to happen next, but you don't know, and in a way you don't care.
Mm. This question connects to that one. I'll ask it anyway. If awareness exists prior to the body, okay, it's intellectual again, but anyway, why don't we have memory prior to the birth of the body? If there's awareness prior to being born,
because memory is all to do with the attachment to the body. It's all to do with that. And it starts from when we're babies, and it's encouraged by our parents, who don't know any better, and society to keep remembering. And it's all to do with attachment to the body.
Mm-hmm.
When there's no body, there's no memory. When you lose the attachment to the body, the memory works in the functional sense, but in the emotional sense, no. There's no attachment to memory. Like I can remember things, some things, other things I just don't remember. I have to write things down a fair bit, but I'm not going through life trying to remember each moment. Because remembering is attaching to things. But it's only there, the emotional attachment to memory is only there when you're attached to the body. When the attachment to the body goes, so much changes, everything changes. Because you realise I am not the body, and I'm still going to be here whether the body's here or not. It doesn't really make much of a difference. I mean, I haven't died physically, so I don't know what happens, but I can see the advantages of not having a body.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. I mean, there are advantages to having a body too. It's very pleasurable at times having a body, but it's very painful at times having a body too. Physically painful, I mean.